Welcome to the Growth Lab, the podcast dedicated to the business of beauty and vitality. We are sitting down with Manny Agrawal, the founder and CEO of FMG. It is an amazing product that they have here that features cellular energy. Let's find out more. This episode is brought to you by MedSpa Accelerator. We help medical practices and med spa clinics solve the bottleneck of inconsistent, unqualified sales using AI to achieve a predictable, scalable monthly revenue without staff burnout. We are absolutely thrilled to have Manny join us to discuss the future of patient care and his unique products. So let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, Manny. How are you, my friend?
Good afternoon, Jason. Thank you so much for the invitation. Delighted to be a part of your program.
Thank you. I'm excited to dive into your story, Manny, and I'd like to frame these conversations simply past, present, and future. I want to start with your origin story and how you got into this demanding, rewarding industry, and then we'll pivot over to the present reality of what's working, or what's causing friction, what's keeping your doors open. And then finally, I want to look at the future outlook and your vision for the next 3 to 5 years for FMG and the biggest strategic moves that you're planning. And that way we'll be able to cover a full spectrum of building out a successful business. Does that sound like a good roadmap?
Absolutely. Sounds fantastic.
Fantastic. Now, Manny, you started at FMG about a year ago. You are CEO and founder, I believe. And so what is what is my first question is what is the key to developing high purity epithion and why is it so important?
So, Jason, it's Epicatechin.
Epicatechin?
No, Epicatechin.
Epicatechin. Okay.
So it is one of the millions of molecules that you find, in nature, and generally it's there in just about every living being. But to extract in a proper commercial way, there are a couple of things where we can get it from. Cacao beans is a good source, and a green tea is a good source. So just to give you an idea, to make one of our capsules, we need roughly 400 grams of slightly less than a pound of green tea. So it's a lot of green tea. And
Did you
why
say green tea?
green tea?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the purity becomes important. Is you have this one molecule which is fantastically useful, but all its cousins are sometimes not so useful, and sometimes they could be even toxic to human beings. So achieving a very high purity is important. And we developed a proprietary process to purify it to a very high level. Officially, we claim 98%, but that's our minimum. We go much, much, much higher.
So what can what can it do for the body and the mitochondrial function? Is it an end all be all just for any and all of our ails and cures, or what does it solve, Manny?
Of course not. Nothing is a silver bullet. So let's just start from there. And I would like to preface, I'm a mathematician by training. So if I speak something wrong from biology or the medical sciences, please forgive me, on that. So there are scientists who have been working on mitochondria for, I would say, a couple of decades, understanding the structure, what it does, and why it is so important. And one of the key that we all learned in high school biology, that it produces energy. So whatever you eat and, the air you breathe and all that gets combined and it creates energy. Now, if you look into the human body, certain parts of our body work more than the other parts. So think of tip of your nose. It doesn't do that much compared to your eyes or your heart or your liver or your lung or your brain. They're working a lot more. So each cell in different part of the body, which has different number of mitochondria, it could be as much as 100 times more in one part over the other. So this is the key function that and then think of this way, I have my phone here, and if you take out the battery, well, it's as good as a brick. So that becomes a critical part. And that is the basic function of it. And then we find out a lot more about it. It's involved in the redox signaling. It's involved in inflammation control. And as you know, if your energy level goes down, then the body has a choice. The body prioritizes. Let's put the energy here, but not here. And that is where you see different type of illnesses, come up. And so you can say, in a way, this is a newly developed or newly understood, science that the people are saying is in the base of most of the diseases that you see. Of course, not all. And can it cure itself? No, it is a part of the solution. So your doctor would say, okay, you have XYZ problem. I'm going to treat you this way, but this will help you, improve faster. I'll give you another example to make it a little
Okay.
bit more real. Let's take example of a cancer person
Okay.
after chemo. Chemo kills everything, good, bad, ugly. It's all gone, and then you need to recover, and you need energy. This is where the role of mitochondria comes in. So we don't cure anything. We will work with your oncologist to say, okay, does it help?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Did I
that
answer
makes
your question?
I think you did. Yeah, I think you did. I have a couple other questions here, and I want to get to that in just a second. But I want to know about some of the studies on this, on that. I want to say it the right way. Ep,
Epicatechin.
epithion,
No,
epith,
epi.
epicatechin. Okay. So
Perfect.
on epicatechin, what kind of like double blind placebo studies have been done about epicatechin?
There's so many studies which has been done by the scientists. And
Okay.
the two of the leading scientists in this area are part of my founding team. And we have published all our papers on our website. So numerous studies, including studies by NIH, multiple other scientists. So the role of mitochondria is, at this point in time, is a mute argument. I think we all understand.
Okay. 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 All right. Very interesting. Very interesting. So, what I want to know more about the toxicology reports. Do you have any of those? Have those been studied as well?
Yes. So our team, for multiple years, they studied and they tried to break epicatechin, a solution that we have, and ours is minus minus, like two minuses, epicatechin, and nothing they have found so far. I'm not saying that nothing exists that we will not find a side effect, but as of today, multitude of studies, we have not been able to find anything.
Okay. And let's talk about ppm or ppb. I would really like to talk about ppb. In terms of testing, is the raw ingredient, as you mentioned, it takes 1 pound of those green tea leaves to actually get that right stuff, and then also some cacao as well. So, is the raw ingredients of that cacao and that green tea leaf tested at least 1 part per 50 billion?
I have not calculated it in those terms, so I apologize for doing that. But the number that each one of our capsule has 50 milligrams of
Okay,
of epicatechin, and when we talk to the manufacturers who extract it, they say roughly 400 gram or slightly less than a pound is what is required to
okay.
pull this one chemical out.
And where is it sourced from? Where does the manufacturer source it from?
So as of today, the main place where this thing is extracted is in China.
China.
So in China, because China is the biggest producer of the green tea in the world. And so
Absolutely.
they
I
have the access
I could have
capacity
guessed
where they
that
can.
for sure. Mhm. And
Exactly
is
right.
it the cacao as well also sourced in China?
So cacao, believe it or not, is the parts of Africa which are the biggest producer of cacao. So
Okay,
Ivory Coast and other places. And the cacao is a lot more in demand. So commercially speaking, green tea is a much better alternative.
okay. Let's go ahead and shift over to absorbability. Is absorption measurable and guaranteed, Manny?
Uh, in medical sciences, nothing is guaranteed. So let's talk about, have we done the studies on bioavailability and the dosage and purity? Absolutely, and we have published all that data. We
Where is
have come
that
up
on the
with the
website? I'm just curious.
sure under the research tab. So
Under
if
the
you go to
Okay.
mythos.com under research tab, you'll see published or peer reviewed papers.
Or
And this is
peer
where you
reviewed
have
study.
some
Okay.
70, 80 some odd papers just by our scientists, and of course some other good papers. And we are
Okay.
constantly adding to that list. So what we
Okay.
found is 1 milligram per kilogram of body weight. is the ideal dosage for most people. And of
Okay.
course, the physicians can alter the dosage based on whatever criteria they see. And I want to be very clear that we are not a pharmaceutical product. So we are a nutraceutical product, but we have gone ahead and have studied it as if it was really a pharmaceutical product.
Right. Right. So it's technically like a dietary supplement, right?
Technically speaking, yes. In most of the countries where we sell to, it's a dietary supplement. And but in some of the countries, they have their own laws and they label it differently, and so be it.
Mhm. Okay. Oh, great. And what is the total amount of reviewed studies to prove efficiency or efficacy?
Just by our scientists, I think it's more than 15, 20, and we continue to
Wh-
do so.
Okay.
But others have also done it. I believe NIH has done a study.
NIH. Okay.
Lots of study. There are a lot more studies, of course, on the animals than on the humans. Animals being the first step to test into it. So we have extensively studied it,
Okay. Yeah.
and others as well. So I shouldn't say no. We are the only one who have studied it.
Of course, of course. Now, I know that there's many individual nutrient products obviously that exist out there, right?
Yeah.
However, the bottom line is the measurable cellular absorption and the buildup and the maintenance of antioxidants to prove that absorption, right? So full range supplementation is the real key. Would you agree?
I have limited knowledge. Remember, I come from the math background, then the biology background, but I have been in parts of many discussions, including one this morning between one of our scientists and a clinician from Europe. And
Okay.
this was the topic of discussion. And the net of this thing was yes, the bioavailability and the oxidating stress and redox signaling and all of that. I would have to agree with you. It is important, and this is where we have shown a lot of efficacy in many
Mhm.
situations.
You know obviously about polyphenols though, right, Manny?
Yes, a little bit. Yes,
Yeah, it's polyphenols are the greatest thing ever for the human body, but they're very hard to obtain and they're hard to transfer and get that absorption, right? For example,
correct.
you could take olive oil for an example. It's something, that I take, right? There's olive oil all over the world, but when it goes through that pasteurization process, from whatever you get in the grocery store, all those are gone.
All
Zeroed
those are
out,
gone.
right? There is no
Yes,
polyphenol stuff that you can buy
yes,
in the grocery
yes.
store. It has to be
Correct,
directly after it's pressed, and it has to be
correct,
single source as soon
correct.
as possible. Like, so
Yeah.
for example, I have a strain of olive oil that I get that single source that's directly from Greece, right? And it comes in a very, very dark bottle because any light that penetrates through it destroys the polyphenols. Time, age, temperature destroys the polyphenols. And then it's just olive oil, right? So I'll give you another example, and it has to do with the green tea leaves, right? The very tips of the green tea leaf, not the whole leaf, but just the
Not the whole
tip,
list.
has the most amount of polyphenols in them. So when
Mhm,
you're going
mhm.
through that manufacturing process, you really want to just get the tip, just the tip, right? Because that's going to get you the most polyphenol.
You have touched on such an important point. It's not even funny, right?
Mhm.
As you took example of olive oil. No two olive oils are equal.
Yeah,
They just are not,
yeah,
and
they're
it's
different
it's a
depending
10
on the
times
environment,
more
right?
true with epicatechin.
Is
How
it?
you extract it, how do you purify it, how do you safeguard it, how you formulate it, the dosage, the purity, all of that. And that's why it's so much harder to build the right capsules, the right dosage, the right amount, and right degrees of control. So, for example, we go through testing, both pre fabrication and post fabrication. To look into stability, that it still works. Some of our products are still sitting in the stability chambers for 1 year.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yes. So we want to actually see how it works. And there's something almost no nutraceutical company does it. So we take a lot of pain in making sure you get the right thing. at the right percentage or the right purity. If
Okay.
you say, well, you can buy a big bag of Epicatechin for a couple of $100, and you can take a scoop every day, and nothing will happen. Most probably, nothing will happen. It parallels your example of olive oil.
Okay. And I'm glad that you touched on that point, and I was just thinking for a second, what can a user of Epicatkin expect in terms of results based on the dosing that you've outlined of what was it, 1 milligram per pound?
Per
Per kilo.
kilogram of the body weight.
Okay.
Right. So it has to be, you have the right purity, the right formulation. It is highly, it's been stabilized in the right way. I can tell you from both perspectives. There's a scientific study that we have published that it's on our website. Feel free, take a look at it. I would
Which
rather
one is that?
share. It's under the research and
Which
the
paper?
papers. So many of them, and on different things. So you have things on muscular dystrophy, things on heart, things on diabetes, things on, so many of the studies have been done,
Yeah,
and we have
it's
published the
categorized
result.
by specialization.
Exactly. Now, what I would like to share is my personal story. So
Okay,
my
I would love to
personal,
hear it.
yeah. So before I started taking it, which was roughly a year and a half ago, so I was the recipient of the lab handmade, capsules, of that. And before that, I used to have this high blood pressure. So there was a little tablet that you take every day. They have told me I'm pre-diabetic, and that's in general. You're sluggish. You no longer have the energy to pull in the full 50, 60 hours, which is expected of a CEO. So you get tired.
Uh-huh.
And 6 months later, and I did the blood test before and after, and I'm off the blood pressure medication. I'm off the list of the pre-diabetic, and my typical working week is between 60 to 80 hours and full energy.
Wow.
So that's me personally.
So did your
I have
blood
seen
pressure your low high blood pressure go
normal,
down?
and
Not normal, normal.
I'm like
Okay.
the classic normal, whatever you call 120 over 80. That's in my case, and I used to be like 150 over 100 type of guy.
Okay,
And yeah,
interesting.
and I just went back to normal, right? And in
And you take it
general,
every
just
day?
in the morning and in the evening. So what we found is the timing of the dosage also matters, because your body kind of consumes some of it, so its level goes down, and then at a certain point you have to give the next dose for it to maintain a certain balance. And then I have observations, and of course I don't know the full detail, but a lot of the doctors call us. And I'll give you a case of last Sunday. Last Sunday, I got a call from a physician in India. And I don't have all the details. I don't know how it happened. We're still investigating. But there was a lady with a 3 times failed IVF, and she got pregnant naturally. And I'm still trying to find the details, how it happened. And we are all like, we never studied this thing. We don't know how it happened. So we are in the discussion
Wow.
with the doctors to find out what happened and what not. And I've seen cases of work with, as I said, we work with a lot of doctors. So there's a doctor with the diabetes, a patient, and he used Mitos as well with the
Okay.
fantastic results. I have people who are, kidney issues, this issue. So I don't claim that we are a cure for any of the diseases, but these doctors find that using Mitos along with whatever they are doing is giving a fantastic result. So this is a
Okay.
supplement to
Okay,
to
right.
to their practice.
Now, what is the difference between Mitos and Mitos RS?
Vitos RS is a fantastic experiment in which we failed at least 3, 4 times that I know of, and maybe we failed a more number of times before that. We figured out how to work with the mitochondria of the skin. And this is where, and we just finished our clinical study, which now finally succeeded. And this comes back to our olive oil question, the purity, the dosage, all of those things. And we found that is helping skin conditions a lot. So we did a clinical study on the wrinkles. So what we did was we measured the top of the wrinkle and the bottom of the wrinkle, and that distance within a month it reduced.
Okay. Okay, so it's a cream then, right?
So I used to call it a cream, and my team says no, it's not a cream, it's a serum. So I'm
Serum.
required to now
Okay.
call it a serum.
and it looks like it smooths out the skin and evens the skin tone and hydrates the skin. Does that sound about right?
Exactly.
Okay.
This is precisely where it is. And we are not a beauty product company. Our goal
No, you're
was to
not.
work on mitochondria. And then
Mhm.
we happen to say, "Oh, it works here."
Wow, well, that's great.
Uh,
How
uh,
much does the oh, it's not even available right now?
no, we are in the final testing phase
Okay.
in a manufacturing facility, which is full GMP and all that. And so we are ready to release it, but we are still waiting for our final tests to come through. So I'm hoping, keeping the fingers crossed, in 2 weeks time we should release it.
Okay. So if people wanted to buy, they could buy Mythos. They can go directly
Correct.
to the website. I'm on there right now as we're taking a look at this, and it looks like it's $125 for a bottle, right? And how many doses is in that bottle? Is it because you said you take one during the day and one during the night, right? So is that a one
Correct.
month because there's 60
It's
capsules in
1 month.
there?
It's 1 month
Okay, it's
supply,
one.
60
Okay, I
capsules.
was just
Yeah. So
checking my math.
exactly. Absolutely.
Uh,
And also Mythos RS, when it comes out, it'll be 1 month supply. You can imagine
Okay.
it's a little bit hard to measure because how many drops somebody
Yeah.
uses. But it'll be the same price. And we also have a wait list there. And believe it or not, it's filling up rather quickly. And I'm
Oh, yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah. I especially, I imagine that's mostly on the women's side. Everybody wants even skin tone, targeted better skin, and that's
Right.
wonderful. I think that's great. If it works, I'd like to see it. I can't wait till it's exciting. I can't wait for it to get out of testing.
I can show you the lab version which has gone to testing.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it should be out in 2 weeks time, and
Wow. That's soon. Okay.
that's when, yeah, July 15th is our officially announced date. We
Okay.
have it ready. It's in our sitting in the manufacturer's facility. As you know about GMP people, they will not release it until all the tests are done. So
Okay.
this is where
Sounds
we
good,
are.
Manny. Well, I hope all of our listeners and all of our viewers are excited as I am about the product. You can view the product. The link is going to be in the description down below. It's Mitos, Itozzz.com. And then you can see everything on the homepage. And then you want to go to the products. You can go into the research as Manny has described to go take a look at those 15 peer-reviewed papers and take a look at what this mitochondrial support does for the body in terms of nourishing cellular systems in those cells in the body. It's very exciting. I like it. Hopefully that price is that price expected to come down over the next few months or so because it's about $1.25 a bottle.
Couple of months, probably not. But my goal would be to take it to more and more people. Maybe next year. My goal would be to see if we can bring the price down. And we have already
Okay.
done so. When we started
Okay.
out, we are close to $200. But as with manufacturing efficiency and learning from our own mistakes, we brought it down to 125. And yes, our goal would be to make it available to more and more people.
Okay, that's fantastic. Wow, it's really great. I'm excited. What is the biggest goal for the business this year in 2026, Manny?
Um, I would like to expand our sale more into Europe and rest of the Americas.
Okay.
So this would be our big goal. We are working on a third product, which shall remain confidential for now.
Okay.
But if everything goes well, there is another part of the body. I think we should be able to help those individuals. We have 3 pharmaceutical products and would like to take one of them to the human trials. If all the stars align, then we should take it the first one to. So that will be our 2026 goals.
Okay. That sounds pretty great to me. And one last question. I did want to know if there was a money back guarantee for anyone that's dissatisfied with the product or if they didn't feel anything off of an entire bottle.
No, we do not have a money back guarantee. It's
Okay.
a product for the health,
Okay.
and so it's very difficult to
No,
take it. I mean, as opposed
fair
to
enough.
consumer product.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure, sometimes there is
Absolutely.
products that really stand by, all the research and they have the research and they can see that, it's going to work no matter if and or but about it, right? So some people are
Right.
companies are confident in doing that, but maybe it just takes more peer reviewed studies, right? More studies,
Sure.
and then you'll get to that point of testing it on so many people, maybe 100,000 to 1,000,000 people have tried it, and then maybe you can offer that in the future. It is still,
Absolutely.
yeah, it's
Absolutely.
still very, very
That
early for you at FMG, you know?
Jason, my promise to you, the day I have 100,000 users, we will implement money back guarantee.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait to try it myself. Manny, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really do appreciate, and I think a lot of our viewers are going to really appreciate, a lot of the stuff about, the product itself. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the recorded portion of the Growth Lab. And thank you so much for stopping by, Manny.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you for the opportunity.
Bye now.